Hi, hello, hello, hi, and welcome to All Our Hearts and Minds. Thank you again for tuning in. We're here to discuss all things that have been on our hearts and minds, the good, the bad, the concerning, and uplifting, or just straight talk. We're your hosts, Kimmy, our passionate heart,
Yeah.
and then there's me, Jeanette, our mind and chronic overthinker. Let's get into it.
Yes.
Alrighty, so back again, back again, back again. And so, before we get into anything, we just want to check in and check up. Kimmy, I know it's the holidays. We're getting in it. We're in the thick
Mhm.
of it, and going into the last month of the year. How have you been? How are you feeling?
Honestly, last week was a hard week at work.
Mm.
Yeah, but anyhow, a new day. In
And you
terms of the holidays coming, it feels like honestly it's around the corner and I'm so not prepared.
you have your tree up?
No, listen. Girl, I
You're
haven't
gonna.
even gotten
Mhm.
boxes from downstairs. Like,
The boxes haven't even been brought up.
come on, none at all.
That's
And
okay. It's
you
still
know,
we're still a couple of days left in November. 2 days left in
well, it
November.
it feels like I blinked and November went with it because
Yeah, true,
honestly,
true.
like I feel like we just were on November 1st and now all of a sudden bop bop
I
December
totally
1st
feel you. I feel you on that.
round the corner. Like I literally feel like I blinked and November went with it because I can't even get my bearings yet. Like, so my mom's birthday is early in the month, right? Is on the
Yes,
9th of
yes.
December. And so I was kind of trained from a little kid
Yes, I
that
remember you always say it's like
I don't
until
celebrate I don't even as an adult in my own house, right? I don't really get into the spirit of it
until
until
after
after
your
my
mom's.
mom's birthday, which is
Mhm.
funny. But, yeah, but honestly, with the Christmas season coming, I really just wanna lay low. Like,
Yeah.
I really want to lay low, and every year I say, "Oh, I wanna lay low," and then the invites start rolling, and Kim's
Huh.
accepting left, right, and damn center, and
Mhm.
totally forgets about the laying of the low, okay?
You
And
gotta be
so
strategic. You gotta be strategic.
I know, right? But it's like, God. And it's like the Christmas holidays, so you feel like more I don't know, you feel
Yeah,
more,
I'm more inclined to go out.
obligated, pressured, whatever it might be, right?
It's
But
true.
I literally just wanna be in my house, like,
Well, here's what
um
I do. Here's my strategy. If you have your family custom, but you just have to see, right? With
but
like,
even that, I don't want to do it. I
I
don't
get it,
want
but I feel like, you should try it 1 year. Maybe this year is not the year, but 1 year you just be like, you know what? Come before of the first weekend of December or before, let's say the first weekend of December, because I think that's appropriate.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna plan. That's gonna be the day I do my little Christmas thing. If you can,
Yeah. No, well,
time willing.
yeah, it's
And
true,
see
like
how you feel because after your mom's birthday, it's like you literally have 2 weeks.
100. It is
That's
like crunch to
close.
the time, okay? It is crunch to the time because like when her birthday falls during the week, which it does, that following weekend, because my mom doesn't celebrate until after her birthday, which
Yes.
I have adopted the same thing.
Yes, yeah.
So then that's one weekend gone,
Mhm.
right? Because it's spent on her. So then
Yes.
there's 2 weekends I have left before the big Christmas. And brethren, I'm not in it. Like, I'm not
That's what I'm
in
saying. You
it.
need to try 1 year. Maybe this is not the year. Maybe
I
ne
know. But you
next.
see, that's what happens every year, girl,
I
every
know, but at
year.
least you know what you should do? Just bring up the box the first week. Bring
Oh
up the
god.
box the first week
Right?
and see if it inspires.
I've been meaning to tell hubby, I'm like, "Bring up the box them and leave them here for me."
At least,
But
right?
honestly, I just you know what? Other than my mom's birthday, it's like I just am not I don't know, I'm not in the Christmas spirit yet.
Yes.
I hope that it's a yet and that
It
I
always comes, I find, no matter how, and especially since, your family, like, they do it up for Christmas. It's not like it's
yeah,
like, so I feel like
it's
it
a
will
lot.
naturally happen. It might just happen closer to maybe the 2 couple days. But here's my strategy. Now that you mention it, it's okay. So yeah, I'm like you. I'm like, people have been having their tree up from like November
Right? The
times, right?
beginning
There's
of you're right. After
because that's
some
how
people
Canadian.
are right after Halloween. I'm
Right
like,
after
"Whoa."
Halloween, yeah, I've been seeing the posts on my social media of the people I follow and stuff. I'm like, Good for you. That's
Right?
good because if you're buying, especially if you use a real tree, yeah, give that tree some leeway. Let it be up for 2 3 months, right?
Right? I
If
know.
we're gonna chop the tree down.
Right?
But yeah. So, but my thing is by like first week, and honestly, I might entertain at my house once or twice in the holiday, but it's not much. Mostly, it's gonna be my family house is my mom's house, right?
Mhm.
But I'll
Yeah.
I'll try and get a little my little mini medium-sized tree up around
Mhm.
the 1st or 2nd week of December. And then, like, in terms of social stuff, to your point, it's like, yeah, like, getting up I don't mind doing the social stuff before Christmas, but to your point where you wanna be lay low and get some downtime,
Yeah.
what you do is make sure all the social things, the invites, the dinners, the meetups, whatever it is, all the increased social activity that's happening, you want that to be all up until maybe the 19th or something, right? The latest.
Right? I know.
And then you're done. I did all my invites, my social stuff, my Christmas social stuff. Then you have your
Right.
family, your family get
Mhm.
together, your tradition, what you do for
I really
Christmas.
think that one year I'm just gonna escape.
Oh, girl, girl.
Like 1 year, I'm literally getting on a plane on
You
December
you
24th.
you
Like
need to do it. No,
once in my life. Like,
I'll tell you, one time my niece and her husband did that, they think they went on the 26th, so they didn't really skip it because it's such a controversial thing to do, but
right?
I do it that seems so freeing because even me, like, I think last year I went a day or 2 after Christmas, we went to Florida, and it was so freeing just to be, like, away from all
All
the
of it, like, just all of the hustle and the bustle, and, like, when you go on a vacation, it's with the intention to relax. So, what you're doing is geared that way, right? So, you're
yeah.
not geared towards the mall and the hustle and the bustle. You're
Get
you're
this,
ge you
get your
know?
house ready, buy food, buying
Right? Like, come
groceries.
on, right? You're there for experience, so you're gonna wanna do things, like, to experience. But, anyway, as I digress.
No,
So,
but it was a good
girl.
point. We're getting into the holiday season. You gotta,
Yeah, right? And I just feel like it's so I don't know, I'm getting to the point where it's like I don't want the to do, like the big to do. I
yeah,
just
you just want it to be simple. Why can't it just
yeah,
be
like
simple?
to the point these are the top 3 things that I wanna do for Christmas once in my life.
Mhm.
1 is spend Christmas in a hot tropical country,
Yes.
where I have no snow, I'm looking at palm trees.
Mhm.
2, have dinner catered.
Yes, yes.
100%
Great
catered.
idea, great idea.
From the top to the bottom. I mean, decorations, food, the whole 9, okay?
Mhm, mhm.
And lastly is to, like, have a movie night right through to Christmas, like, right through Christmas. So,
Yeah, so the Christmas
like,
thing and then
Christmas Eve right back until, like, Christmas night,
mhm,
where it's all movie night, like, all movies. You're just watching movies, whether I don't know, whatever, Christmas movies, whatever type of movies, right? And the reason why I say that is because you'll eat, but
mhm.
it's not like you're making a big meal. Like, you got some nachos, some
Yeah, it's like
popcorn.
all the good,
Right? Like the just
appetizers.
simple, cool, like just chillax type of food,
Mhm.
kind of grazing type of food. Maybe even
Yes,
have
grazing,
a
appies.
charcuterie board,
Oh,
what
yeah.
so and just watch movies.
Mhm.
That's it. I want to do those 3 things once in my life. But anyways, as I digress, how are you doing? How was your week, girl? What's going on
My week
with this
was
preparation of this damn Q4? Last quarter, people, last quarter.
last month.
Telling
I think
you.
things have kind of at work are kind of ramping down. I guess I don't want to jinx myself, but I guess,
Mhm,
and
mhm.
my um manager's gone off on some taking some time off for the rest of the year. So even less, you know,
Yeah, yeah,
um,
yeah,
you know what that means.
yeah,
Little breather. You get a
yeah,
little. Not that you're gonna do anything crazy, but it's just something. You
yeah,
just
well,
feel a
come
little.
December, I'm slowing the hell down. You're not here? Okay, yeah, we're slowing the hell down come December 2nd, which is Monday of next week. I'm just
So
slowing down.
and,
Okay.
so yeah, and, this week is, tomorrow's my nephew's birthday, so we're gonna be having brunch for
Yeah.
good. He has a November birthday. Today is actually my younger sister would have been today, or would have been her birthday, the one who passed away. My
Mhm.
sister is close to me. So, November is interesting,
Right?
and, but yeah, I honestly, I've been feeling okay, I've been feeling good. I bought, a new dresser for my room. I need to get somebody to help me. I still have that leaking problem.
Oh,
God
yes.
but I can't even get into the story, like, the hot water handle was broken, I couldn't turn off the water, you need to turn off the water before you fix a leak in your bathtub, it was a whole thing.
Yes.
So this Monday was actually I really couldn't do anything until after those people came to my condo to fix the water. Now part 2 would be fixing that leak. Hopefully,
Okay.
you know?
Okay.
Just life stuff, like, to your point, it's like you wanna lay
Yep.
low, it's like, I have all these little things, the holidays coming, things
See?
are slowing down, I wanna do a little couple of little things while things are slowing down at work, but then the social thing is ramping up because the holiday expectations, family,
There we
friends,
go.
whatever. But, I said to me, like, to your point, I just accept it's that time of year, but I say, but between after Christmas, see the 26th and the 27th, I
Mhm.
ain't doing one lick,
Yep.
I ain't talking to nobody. I
Yep.
ain't doing shit.
Yep. Yep. Well, you see, that's the thing is that once we do the family thing
Mm,
on Christmas Day,
mhm.
the next day it's like recovery
Recover
slash cleanup
oh,
slash, put away stuff because now
I
you have presents and all these things you have
yeah,
to
I don't even do any of that on
right?
the 26th. Maybe the
Girl.
27th, the cleanup. The 26th, I
Right?
ain't doing shit.
One thing I'll tell you, I ain't cooking not a goddamn thing, okay?
No,
There
no.
ain't no pots coming out here today. The 26th and the 27th is leftovers day.
Oh, yeah. Oh, for sure.
100%. And so, yeah, yeah. And then this year, me and my husband were saying maybe we should go out for New Year's. We haven't been out like at, somewhere where you can cut a rug in a while. And so the last time that we actually danced somewhere was at my cousin's birthday party, which was about 2 years ago. So I don't know. Like I don't here's my thing with New Year's, right?
Mhm.
I stopped going to clubs and bars and all that on New Year's when I would say, late 20s because I found I'm spending all this time with these like, who the hell are you? I'm bringing the New Year's, and I don't know who the hell is standing beside me, you know what I
Mhm,
mean? Like, at
mhm,
a bar and stuff. I just felt like, I don't know, it's kind of not reflection, but it's time for, like, reflection and putting together maybe a plan of how you want your year to be or like things that you want to explore, not resolutions, I don't do that, but like just a little bit of self-reflection and the past year and the new year that's coming, and being around people that you care about and that care about you. But like this year I'm like, I want to cut a rug, like I want to dance. I feel like
mhm.
I haven't danced in a long time.
You haven't been to a holiday party where there's dancing.
Right.
Mhm.
And I want something that I know I'm having all these requests. But in the same breath, like it's only New Year's that I would like to do something.
Okay. Yeah, because you have that spirit. I think you have that, like, you have that going out. Like, we have that feeling with New Year's Eve, even if you tend to, like, have a more quiet, you're not a party person, you have quiet, you still wanna have some type of gathering, right?
Yeah, or
Because, like, you wanna
something or do
celebrate
something, right? And
the New Year is a big thing, and you do wanna bring it in with other people. Um
exactly, and and have a little bit of fun,
mhm.
you know? Yeah, and so I was telling my husband today, and he was like, "You wanna go out for New Year's though?" Like he's like, "For New Year's, though?" And I said to him, "I wanna go to a New Year's party." Right?
Yeah.
And he's like, "But for New Year's, though?"
It's like, I mean, I think we've talked about this. Um, it's a good idea. Look up New Year's party that's in your bracket of like the type of people, the age, whatever it is that you feel. Because trust me, there's so many they're not hard to find.
I
Like,
want an old school party
mhm,
with old school music, okay?
yeah,
Yes, I might be aging myself, but 25 and above,
hmm,
sorry.
hmm.
I can't do the teeny boppers. I'm just not about that
No,
life.
no, no,
I'm
no,
not.
no, no, no.
No, but, like,
That
most
has to.
clubs, there's, a lot of young people, and it's like it's not that I'm old, I'm not, but in the same breath, I wanna have a good old funky time. You know what I mean?
Of
And I
course.
feel like sometimes these young kids, they don't know music,
No,
B.
but you know Caribbean people, if you say even the Caribbean people, oh, they're partying up until they're all 60. So
Yeah.
I say that to say you can find, you just have to look up, okay, just look it up. They're out there.
Yeah, yeah. Well, we'll see. We'll see. But I don't know why I had the bug to dance. I just every now and then I like to go out and cut a rug and have
That's good. No, it's true.
yeah,
Because
just
you don't get
chill.
chances to do that very often unless, you go to a wedding or something, maybe,
Exactly. And even when you go to a wedding, it's like okay, you gotta you're
yeah,
at
the
a wedding.
blend, yeah, the blend.
You're at a wedding, right? Like, but yeah. Anyhow,
Yeah.
so do you have any like bigger plans for this or any plans for the Christmas? The big Christmas?
Nothing outside of the usual, to be honest. No. No.
See? Yeah. I feel you, girl. I feel you.
Mhm. Um,
If something comes up, are you're gonna
mhm.
go though. You're gonna
In terms of what? Like,
like if a friend, hey, let's go here, like
oh
the
yeah, oh
social events
yes,
and stuff.
oh
Yeah.
yes, yeah, oh that, yes, I do actually. Like I said, like, so I lined them up. So I just had to connect with a old friend yesterday. Then I'm gonna have another kind of group, kind of holiday get together, as in to just catch up, but it's the holiday
Mhm.
season. And then one of those girls are hosting a holiday party, so I'll
Nice.
probably, and I think she's hosting that on the 18th or 19th, so that's gonna be my last
Even nicer.
my last social thing. And then obviously
Right?
my work party is, I think the week of, I don't know if it's next week or the week after, but I don't know, the week or this next week or the week after, but there's also the work party, which I'm debating, but, I still made sure I put my name for a ticket. I'm not sure if I'm gonna go, but put my
Right?
name down.
Well, you know what? Listeners, stay tuned for what we end up doing for the big Christmas
Yeah.
because it's fast approaching. Honestly, since I've become like a real adult, like Christmas time for me, it holds
It's
different value now.
Me
Like,
too. It's not that I mean, the one thing to me, it's more stress than what it's worth. I think we've talked about this on one of our Christmas episodes. It's like,
yeah,
yes, it's a beautiful celebration. It's a great thing to get together and reconnect with your extended family and stuff. But I just feel like we just put on so much, like the commercialism, like we were talking about for Black
yeah,
Friday. There's so much commercialism. Like, listen, times are hard, and
right?
really, like, I mean, let's say this for the holiday. I have a lot of things. I try to, like, find joy in it, but it's more trouble than what it's worth. I'm sorry. Like, I feel like there's ways to make it more fun and we bring back that warmth that it's supposed to, excuse me, be. But I think the commercialism and the overdoing of everything, it's like I feel like this should just be not so complicated, you know?
And let me ask you a question. Have you noticed, like, in the past maybe few weeks, that they're pushing even harder with Christmas and, like, the propaganda behind it and the shopping and the
Of
like,
course.
I
Well,
find that they're pushing it even I don't know if it's me, I'm noticing it, but, like, years in the past, I've always seen the propaganda, I've always seen the push, I've always seen all of that, right? But
mhm.
I feel like this year they're really ramping that up, like, they're really going
Well,
hard
I'm
with
in
the
the advertise
consumerism of it all. It's
I'm
like
in the advertiser world, and we're constantly pushing advertisers to go to market earlier. So they've gone to market earlier. I think
I've
that's probably what you're
noticed.
feeling. You're
Yeah,
feel
I've noticed. Yeah, because remember at one point I was telling you I was in a store and one aisle was Halloween and the next aisle was Christmas. And I was like, wait, that means that Halloween hasn't come. So what are we doing? Like, what are we doing? And I felt like, wow, is it me or is this really early? Like, this is really early. Like, we're talking in October. I don't know. I just feel like there's even more of a push. But you know what? It's expected. It's kind of expected. It's whether you feed into it or not.
exactly.
And
You have to have your own values. You have to be strong to resist and know what it is. Like we said, no consumerism, capitalism. They're trying to get you to spend whether you have it or not, and stay within your limits, whatever they are.
and a last thing that I'd love to do, the fourth thing I'd love to do on a
Mhm.
Christmas is spend it in a cabin. A huge
Ooh.
cabin. Like a nice
Oh,
huge
get your
cabin with
family, you get an
yeah, like
Airbnb.
huge cabin with family,
Ooh,
fireplaces,
that's a
cocoa
great
station.
idea.
What's that would be hype
I'm
where
gonna that on my to-do. That's totally doable. Yeah,
It
so you
is,
plan
it's
you plan it
doable,
ahead, you
right?
can, yeah.
Especially here in Canada with all the damn snow we have up here,
Yeah.
and, yeah, but, like, spending Christmas in a cabin, like, you get there from maybe the 21st or the 23rd or
Yeah,
4th or
bringing the
whatever.
food and everything, yeah.
You pack yeah, you go get your everybody brings groceries.
Yeah.
Everybody bring groceries, and hot cocoa stations and all of the rest of the what's nots and just enjoying each other's time and, even tobogganing if you wanted to do something
Yeah, for
outside,
the
like
kids, you have some kids around, yeah, for sure.
skiing, you know?
Well, now that you say that, well, here's an idea. You could always go up to Collingwood area, Blue Mountain. It's
Right?
very popular, so you better book it out at least 8 months in advance.
See?
Um, so,
Okay. But
but that's a
yeah,
great
something
idea.
like that. I'd like to use Christmas as a time to fulfill some of those, check those boxes on my list. But
Yeah.
yeah, anyways,
Yeah.
talking chit
We
chatting about all of
we
this.
went into this, but you know what? It's Black Friday is just about to be done. So we're getting in
Good.
the
I'm
thick
sick
of.
and tired of seeing the damn commercials,
Oh
man.
god, girl, they're not gonna stop till the next week. You know they go for at
Yeah,
least a
it's
week.
cyber. When's the cyber? Because after the cyber, then they slow down a little bit. But
A little.
yeah, but
Okay.
overall, I
So
guess everybody's alright, everything's okay, we're getting prepared for the
yeah,
nonsense of it all.
yeah, pretty much. Okay, so listeners, we had a big cold open there, but like we hope you're getting ready for the holidays, and of course,
Mhm.
thank you for tuning in again and listening in with your girls here at the Hearts and Minds
Yeah.
podcast. Our ask every week, our call to action is: as you listen, please continue to share the podcast, rate it, follow it, subscribe, comment. And download. And of course, as always, the end. Thanks again for tuning in.
Yes, yes, action time, everybody. Leave a little comment now.
And yeah,
That would be awesome, especially what are listeners, what are some of the things that you do for the
yeah,
Christmas?
exactly.
Any new ideas? Leave us a comment. How about that? I'm always open to new things. So,
Yes, we want to hear them. Okay, so yes, so we're gonna jump into our headlines, and we're just gonna pretty much talk about the stories at the top of the that we've been hearing about. Have been interesting, a lot of drama, just well, what's out there. And so I want to start with. I wanted to talk about this last week, but I forgot. But we
yes.
have to talk about it. So Pharrell Williams was kind of in the hot seat because of some
Mhm.
comments he made while he was on a panel. Just to give a little bit of context, because sometimes we see these clips and I have to say this, like, this culture of social media with these clips, clickbait, whatever you wanna call it, it puts everybody in a vacuum, and it's literally out there to get this immediate reaction, right? So
Exactly.
and of course,
Mhm.
that's why we always like, I try when we talk about stories, we try our best, not
Mhm.
we're not always perfect, but I think we always try our best to put more context around whatever that one clip or that one thing that everybody's being reactionary to.
Yeah. Yeah.
Really, everybody just wants to put a comment on the post, right? And whatever, we know it's designed, these platforms are designed for that, but I feel like in the world where we're going into AI and everything,
Mhm.
like, we need the one thing humans can do is have context and what's the word I'm using for the context and it's not discernment, but nuance. We should have nuance. And I feel
Of
like
course,
the
yes.
the thing is with this culture is we lose so much nuance. People just want that direct reaction, and for a fact what's the before and after. And
Right?
any story, even I feel particularly in the stories we're talking about that today is relevant. But anyway, I don't know. That let me get off my soapbox. But it's just because it's like fuck. It's so tiring. It's like one thing happens and it's all this rhetoric, but are you putting nuance in it? And I'm not saying anything particularly with this story. It's just like anything. It's like
Yeah.
look for the full story before we react so harshly. Anyway, so we'll move on to our guy Pharrell. I have two or three celebrity crushes from when I was in between my
Mhm.
teens into my university years, and Pharrell was one of my crushes.
Mm.
One of my when I was younger in the teenagers, before Andre 3000 and before
Mhm.
D'Angelo, he was one of
Oh,
my
I love me
husbands.
some Andre 3000. Oh.
Ooh.
Mhm.
Anyway,
I do.
um, And we didn't talk about them getting their, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame thing, but
Yeah, him and Big Boy, right?
yeah,
Mhm.
congrats to them
Outcast,
on that, well
Outcast.
deserved, Outcast for that, being inducted
Right?
into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Anyway, so Pharrell Williams, so he was on a panel for his Black Ambition initiative, which supports Black and brown entrepreneurs.
Yeah, say it. Yeah, please. Put
Right.
it in perspective.
So
Please, please.
in the clip that's gone viral and where he's getting backlash on is he states that he hates politics because it's divisive, and then question the value of DEI.
Hmm.
And the quote is, "Do you want the job because you're black or because you're the best?" He added, "If diversity, equity, and inclusion ever comes back in style, cool. But in the meantime, I'm going to focus on being the best because I can bank on that." And it sounds like he was responding. It sounds like the question was probably asking him about the decline and the not the decline, but literally the war on DEI happening in
Yeah.
the current administration in the US. And if you work, yes, I'm Canadian, but this affects me because I'm Canadian working for a US company and I have seen it with my own
Okay.
eyes in the front lines. They have shut that shit down.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh.
And anyway, let's continue with the conversation. And so, of course, that was hurtful for a lot of people love Pharrell, not for, and if you think about his career, he came up as a producer to a record owner and holder
Mhm.
to now,
To a rapper at one point,
well,
he was
of
rapping.
course, he was dominating his music thing. He dominated his
Mhm.
music thing very
Yeah.
well to the most highest levels of success, right? Grammys,
Mhm.
everything, wrote so many songs for so many people, plenty, a guaranteed certified hit maker, right?
Mhm. Pretty much, yeah.
And then as he became very influential in the fashion world, he's very much known for his fashion presence and he was at the front lines. He was like Kanye. I mean, to me personally, in that world, Kanye is number one. I think.
Mhm. Mhm.
I mean, maybe that's we need to have another conversation. We need to have a workout or something on hip hop and fashion and the involvement there. I mean, I think Diddy started it
Mhm.
in a
Mhm.
influence I maybe there was more people who did it first, but Diddy did it the most influential, like, he crossed over from hip hop fashion to high fashion. That's what I mean.
Mhm. Mhm.
And then from Diddy, we see the long line of the Pharrells, the Kanyes, Virgil, he was a hip hop artist, but Virgil came up under Kanye, and that whole world and what's his name? Pretty Boy, Rihanna's husband.
A$AP Rocky.
A$AP Rocky's another one of those guys. So there's a whole family and lineage of them, and obviously, Pharrell is one of those guys.
Mhm.
And he has become since Virgil's death, he replaced Virgil Abloh as the head of design at Louis Vuitton for I believe their menswear specifically.
Mhm.
So that's like Louis Vuitton is one of the oldest fashion houses in
Mhm.
France, more or less Europe, but France, which is, Paris is they say, the
Right?
fashion capital of the world.
That's what they
Um,
say. Yeah.
that's what they
Mhm.
say. So he is in a very high position in a very influential brand. Yeah, he's a men's creative director at Louis Vuitton. So
Creative director. Mhm.
yes, exactly.
Mhm.
And he's been doing great things. I mean, personally,
I have a thing or two for Pharrell, so Imma
yeah.
let you finish.
Yeah, let
Mhm.
me so, okay,
Mhm.
so I told in the comments why people are pissed at him, why he's getting a side eye. And the critics say, especially obviously people in black media and who are very vocal in the black community, podcast, media, entertainment, and even people like me who's a fan of him,
Mhm.
who was a little bit surprised, but I'm not surprised once we kind of dig deep into it here.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
the argument is pretty much it ignores the historical and systemic barriers that in which why DEI was created into legislation over there in the first place.
Mhm.
It's not about you being chosen or being preferred for a role because you fall into any type of the DEI categories. It's more
Mhm.
to ensure that when a role is open and talent is being explored, you are not ignored. You are a part of that list. Of course, whoever is hired needs to be fit and the best person for the job, right? It's always that.
Mhm.
I don't know
Well,
anybody
it
who
should be, at least. It
right?
should be.
So, a quote that I seen, it said, "Brother, we've been the best. Racism kept doors locked. We didn't get shut out because we were unqualified. We got shut out because America is built on anti-black exclusion and any type of exclusion, even women. Even though
Yeah.
it's a shaky area there with white women right now, but still women." So it's not it made it seem it's like continuing the dangerous rhetoric that even the
Mhm.
people on the right side and the people who are trying to get rid of DEI legislature to say like, "Oh, that's you're just numbing it down to say somebody's being preferred for no reason." Right? That's where you're falling. Just like how what happened in Harvard, where the Asian students were trying to get rid of DI. I mean, they harmed themselves with that. To be honest, if you're listening to what's going on in the Asian community in the U.S., but
Mhm.
like, yes, that is like a dangerous and very the base level of what it is. It's not even
Right.
that. I can't even say it's in any level of what it is. It's a very it's not the definition of it at all. Um
Well, right. Well, I do really believe that
mhm,
DEI was a way for people to get equity,
yes,
right? And to have some sort of equality, right? And uh, when I start thinking about what Pharrell said, right? I don't know why my brain goes here, but it goes to Martin Luther King.
okay.
And I'll tell you why. Because initially, when Martin Luther King started his fight, it was so that as Black people, we could just live amongst white people. But
Integration.
integration. But then he started to realize that that's not what I should be fighting for.
Mhm, mhm,
He started to realize that we need equity. We need
right. That's
equality.
the
We
word.
need a fair shot to live our lives with the same opportunities, financial, education, the list goes on, opportunities as everybody else. And so I just see that since he started to realize that, Martin Luther King, till today, people have started, the Black community has understood that we're not just trying to be integrated with you. We want to be able to have a fair shot. And for Pharrell to dismiss how many lives, how many people, how much effort from Martin Luther King till today that it took for him to stand in the position that he's in, it really shows the lack of understanding his community. You see, once you get to a certain status, you have to be intentional about being a part of your community. Because you'll notice that as you start to get richer and richer, you climb that ladder, there's less and less people that look like you. There's less and less people that are Black that are in positions like Pharrell. So for Pharrell, you are far removed, my dear.
That's what it is. It's giving out of touch.
You are very out of touch. You are very far removed. You've made too much goddamn money. That's what it says. That's what it says to me, right? Because, and I say you've made too much money because when you hit a certain like billionaire status, that's a different world that a lot of us don't understand. A
Mm.
lot of us will never see, a lot of us will never be a part of, right? But as he starts to climb and do better and get closer and closer to that billionaire world, he loses sight of the one that he's leaving behind. And how dare you stand in your position? Like, you think you would have got the position purely off of talent? Really? Really, Pharrell? Because if that were the case, and I said this to you, why did Kanye West have to kick down the door and smack your chick? He had to kick down the door and smack your chick so that you could be standing here with your brassness and your feistiness to say, and furthermore, I want to be both. So I want to be Black and excellent.
Mm.
And I want to be noted as such, that I am Black and I'm excellent. Because in the world that we live in, there's this misconception that we can't be both. that we have to choose. I'm already excellent.
Okay.
So what I need is an opportunity to shine in my excellence. That's it.
So I was gonna which I'm totally agree with you. So Van
Pharrell with
Lathan
his brain and flipping
Van
PC,
Lathan,
man.
who Van Lathan has a podcast called Higher Learning with Rachel Lindsay, and I follow Van, and Van was a little bit like disappointed. Otherwise, like a lot of us who are fans of Pharrell were disappointed, right? But
Yeah, definitely
like
disappointed.
we talked about with Beyonce and everything, it's like they have been living on a different planet for too long, and so we kind of start talking like a rich person who's detached from their community. Hey, that can happen.
But how
So
come
anyway,
how come Brianna's not? How come
well,
Rihanna's not? You know why? Because she is intentional.
you have to be intentional. You have to be.
Once you hit that status, you have to be intentional. You have to go
But
back to
I
your
guess it's
community.
hard, and you have to be intentional because when you start getting into rooms where
Oh,
you're the only one who looks like you, but you have a lot of stake in like a global
mhm,
international corporation,
mhm,
you're
mhm.
gonna start thinking like the people other people in the room if you're not careful.
Careful, that's the
And
thing.
and that's what this feels like. So anyway, Van Lathan talked to him and he claimed the comments were taken. This is for Van, what Pharrell said to Van Lathan.
Yeah, okay.
He claimed the comments were taken out of context. Fell was allegedly speaking specifically about partisan, right versus left, when he's talking about politics. I get what he was saying there. It's easy, but that's a very basic way of looking at everything. You're not saying that being political doesn't mean that being political or involved or having some type of staying in touch with what's going on at the very least doesn't mean you're divisive. Or if you have your side, like, I just think he took a very basic definition of it. But anyway, so he said that. He's talking about partisan right versus left politics, which we can easily see what's happening in the United States now, and how to survive in a climate where DEI is being dismantled. So by and he was I'm sure that's what it seemed like he was answering a question where somebody was probably asking him about the dismantling of DEI in the US. And he said, I guess his response was, focusing on excellence as a survival strategy. But I'm sorry, you did put a little dig in there. So anyway, like he said, it's dangerous. He's a successful, very wealthy black man with a very important role in a very visible company, um, which I think has got him a little bit out of touch. But if you're in a,
Yeah, and
if but
I believe that he's a little arrogant to say
of
it,
course, yeah, of
to
course.
say that in that way. And to be quite honest, you're just backtracking and pussy popping as far as I'm concerned.
And
You're trying to clean this up.
he's clean trying to
And
clean it up,
yeah,
yeah.
you're trying to clean it up and it comes across as you're trying to clean it up.
Well,
Um
one thing I wanted to say before we move on
mhm.
is I think when we were talking doing our pre-show, Pharrell, do you or do you not know that you were a DEI hire? Are you
Please,
aware? Are you
somebody
aware?
tell him.
Are you aware of that? You know,
Somebody tell him because he forgot.
because this brand was very reluctant. It was literally because of Kanye West's influence
Kick
why
down the door and smack your chick. This is what he
Virgil
had to
was
do. Okay.
this role before there was the Virgil was the first black person for them to hire in this kind of creative director role across any of their brands or whatever, right? Departments. And it was between Virgil and Kanye.
Mhm.
And because of the influence of, African American culture, hip hop culture in fashion. It was just so
Yeah, and that
undeniable.
$1 billion dollars.
Yeah, they finally had to bring in that representation. And you're a part of that legacy. You're like, so don't distance yourself from it now and be like, it's very, like you said, arrogant. So that's where I leave it there. Hopefully his friends and people are kind of like bringing him down to earth. It's,
Yeah, and I
you
hope
can make
somebody gives him
mistakes,
a real reality check because I
right?
think that's what you need right now, my friend.
Mhm,
Because I
mhm.
think you forgot the reality. Like, first of all, you haven't even been with Louis Vuitton very long. Like, you haven't,
Was it
first.
3 years? About 3 years now?
Yeah, yeah, about that. About
Mm,
maybe 3 years.
mhm.
So you haven't been with them too long and you haven't gone through enough
Oh,
drama.
actually, you know what? It was just from 2004, so it's really only over a year and a half, under
So
2
you haven't
months.
been through enough yet. Like I think it's very arrogant to believe that excellence leads the room. Okay? I think it's really delusional to think that people in these spaces don't judge you primarily because you're black or you're not black or whatever you are.
Mhm.
So Pharrell, I need you to come back down to reality. I need you to be that skater boy from, when you first came out. I need you to understand that you yourself had to work hard. You yourself had to, kick down some doors and, yourself. And so I don't understand why you're so disconnected. But I mean, money does that to people. So I think he has to be more intentional with his connection to his community because I think he's losing touch. And so hopefully the people in his life will bring him down to earth. And I don't think that DEI should have ever been political. I just think
Mm.
that an opportunity is an opportunity, and I feel like everybody deserves one. I just feel like this whole DEI has really gotten to the point of more politics than anything else. I understand politics is what drove us to even have something like DEI.
Yeah.
I
Mhm.
understand that, right? But it needs to be removed from politics so much. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Mm.
I don't know. I don't know. But
Okay.
Pharrell, do your thing, but stay the hell up out the DEI conversation, sir. Okay?
Okay, our next story has to do with something recent that happened this week around Thanksgiving. Ray J and was spending time with his kids and his ex or
Soon
separate
to be ex,
soon to be
estranged wife.
ex-wife, estranged wife is love for the holidays. He's on Twitch, so he's live streaming everything. And so it's a clip from his side. We don't see what happens, but the before and before is, to be honest. But basically he's yelling at his wife with who's holding the daughter who looks obviously traumatized and scared
Mhm.
because her parents are having a screaming match, and he's saying that she can't leave or she shouldn't leave because she's been drinking. I think, gaslighting 101 in hindsight, he's trying to make her look bad, but there was a whole chaotic scene before that, and she's trying to be like, "You pointed a gun at me." I think to be like, "Do you know what you just did? Like, you pointed a gun at not only
Oh
me,
my
but your
god.
child. You're not only me, but your child. Like, do you not see that, like, that's not are you not connecting that, like, that's insane?"
No, he's not because he's on one. Um, yeah, Ray J, I think you have a substance abuse problem. Not
Mhm.
just alcohol, but I think it's more than that. I think it's more than that. Um, Princess, girl, what are you doing? Because it seems like
Well, after this, I don't wanna
I
ever
don't
see her
understand why, but okay, okay.
around him
Let
again.
me
Like,
let
this
me
is
bring it
insane.
back to a few
Mhm.
years ago when
Okay.
I think she was pregnant and they were in Vegas, I think. And he left her high and dry with nothing in the hotel room.
Hmm.
And she went online, made a big stink. She said
Yeah.
she had no way of getting back home. She was pregnant. She had her other child. And he left her in a hotel room to go out and gallivant and do whatever what's nots. And she needed food and she was like she's pregnant. This was just a few years ago. So I don't even know why, Princess, we got to this point. Now I understand you're trying to work it out with him, but he's on this social media acting the fool. I don't know. I don't know what's going on with Ray J. I think he's losing it
Mhm.
slowly. I think he has a lot of secrets and they're haunting him and he's subduing it with drugs and alcohol. And it's gotten to the point now where it's affecting his ability to be a father and to be a good one.
Mm.
And Princess, you seem to have some issues yourself too. You seem to have some too. And I'm not going to, victim shame or anything like that, but I feel like why are you still in this toxic relationship with this man? I know you live here and he asked you to come over so you could play in front of your kids like you're having big Thanksgiving. But the actuality is you guys are at war and it's a very toxic situation that you're putting these kids into.
Mhm.
And I think you knew that from when he left your backside in the hotel. I think it was in Vegas or Nevada or something. Okay. And you've had a toxic relationship before you got married, before you had children. So I'm not sure why Princess keeps subjecting herself and her children to this. And I don't understand why Ray J doesn't go get help. Somebody needs to be on Ray J's side to tell him the truth. And I think he has a lot of yes boss type men around him because he's crashing out on this here internet. You're
Mhm.
pulling out guns while your children are there. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing? You're pulling out a gun on your actual ex or soon to be ex-wife or whatever the hell she is. She's the mother of your children. I know that for sure.
Which the most important is she's holding your child.
She's So you pulled it out on her and your child, right? Right. So there's something wrong here. There's something wrong with Ray J. And I think we've seen his, spiraling for the last couple years where he's slowly spiraling out of control. I'm hearing Ray J is always up in a whole lot of stuff. If you ever notice that, like somehow he's always connected to some nefarious things. Like I'm hearing, he's connected to Krishan and it's too much. Like you're out here in these streets doing too much.
But, I mean, I guess, like, the hindsight here, the context, I guess, that would help is he does have a TV network and this whole streaming thing. He has a whole thing going on with media that I think is feeding into it. But to your point, I still think it's a lot of narcissistic behavior
Definitely.
and chaotic chaos, but there's also a financial benefit for him to act out. Like, like there's no real consequences. But anyway, I think he's been arrested because
Yeah, he
obviously this is
was. He had to
happening.
put up 50K
Yeah.
for
So,
bail.
mhm.
So
So you know what? Prayers up to Princess Love. I hope she's just gonna need to reevaluate. This is a whole new level right here.
yeah. And
So
my closing remarks about that are prayers up for them children.
yeah, right. Right.
I don't give two shits about Princess and Ray J. I don't, because they're grown. They're grown. But these babies are seeing this toxicity. It's gotten to a whole new level where they're seeing it. You're pulling out guns and you're intoxicated on top of that. So I pray for those babies because I'll tell you one thing. If you grow up in a like a toxic family unit, um, you're changing these kids' brains. You can go look it up. There's statistics on it that a child that grows up in a toxic, constantly yelling, constantly berating each other, just belittling, violent even, you change the whole development of your child's brain. So they become something different because they're trying to preserve self in that toxicity. So I pray for those children. I really, really do. I hope that, princess, for real now, girl, for real now, be done with this. And if you have a little toxicity that you need to work through, go get some help, girl, because the one of the two of you needs to be available for these children. Okay. And I don't know if it's going to be Ray J. Okay. Because he's out on these streets 90% of the time. So you got to get yourself right so you can be there for those kids. And I pray for them kids because I don't know. She had her daughter in her
Mm.
and so her daughter is going to get to see her father pull a gun out on her mother. Let that sink in. Okay. But anyhow, prayers up for them children. Ray J, Princess, do better, please. Please do better.
Mhm. Okay. So we have a lot of we have a few janky relationships we're talking about today. The next
Janky to say the least. Lord God.
the next one the next one is our girl Candy Burris from Real Housewives of Atlanta, and of course, before Real Housewives of Atlanta, she's a very successful singer songwriter from the group Escape. And she's written lots of songs as a solo writer. And anyway, she announced a divorce that she is filing for divorce from her husband Todd Tucker after 11 years of marriage. And
Mhm.
she confirmed the news on November 21st. In the People, I believe it's People magazine, she sent the statement. So for her to put it out there, it's an official done.
Right?
But I think it opened up because, okay, again, she's been on a reality TV for a long time.
Mhm,
We've
mhm,
seen her relationship grow with Todd, to marriage, to the kids and everything,
mhm.
right? The businesses, everything in between. And so it's like when something like this happens, everybody goes back, they're over analyzing everything. I think, well, the funny part is like,
Mhm.
divorce in real life is tough, but like the funny part is her mom and her aunt, because there's a whole meme. There's actually a few memes
Mhm.
with Candy's mom. Remember the scheme that Todd set up is a classic one. But
She's hilarious. Her mom can't stand
yeah, yeah, Candy's mom was never a fan
Mhm.
of him, and I think it's just a general protection where if you have someone in your family, man or woman, who's very, very successful and have done very well, and then somebody comes into their life and they have a relationship with that person who not as established,
Mhm.
it could so, your people around you might worry that you're being used or they have enough, they don't have 100%. They're
Mhm.
a gold digger essentially. Let me make
Mhm.
it sweet and cute. Like they're worried that you might have a gold digger on your hands.
Right?
And so that was, I think, Candy's mom and, her aunt's kind of side eyeing of Todd the whole time.
Mhm.
Fast forward, they've started many businesses together. Again, they've done Broadway productions. They've done had a lot of business adventures, but a lot of people were observing. Well, a lot of the restaurants that they started together, she slowly started to shut them down in the last couple of years.
Mhm.
So it's like, in hindsight, everybody's looking at everything, right? So she's probably
Mhm.
trying to dissolve all the things they have together to make, the divorce a lot cleaner. And so she doesn't have to get into it's going to be messy, I think, regardless, because she's like obviously the person, the more successful of the two, and they have children together. So something's going to have to go down. I don't
Yep.
know. I
Mhm.
know one of the debates on the show as well was getting a prenup.
Yeah.
I think
Sh
people,
and
yeah.
Candy pretty much got an ironclad type of prenup where he ain't getting
Yeah.
nothing.
We
He ain't
all saw
getting
we
nothing.
all saw what happened to Mary J. Blige.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
You think Candy didn't see that? Candy's like, "Oh, hell to the no, okay?"
So
She's like, "Yeah, I had to, listen, they
well,
had to do a lot to get to where they are right now, sorry, not escape. No, escape.
yeah, the group, yeah, that's okay.
Yeah, the group escape. Yeah, and so she's not letting him have none of it.
Uh,
And, he signed thinking that he was gonna be, he's gonna come out looking clean. Well, hey, he knew what it was.
yeah, and also, well, I will say that I don't know, looking at them, I was happy that Candy could, like, find love again, have marriage, start a new family, and the fact that they did do have these endeavors together, I was like, "Oh, that's great."
Mm,
It's like a true partnership in
right?
love, family, and business, right? But
Mhm.
the thing is, on the rumor mill is they invited people into their marriage, other people, so they
Yep,
would,
doesn't work. Mhm.
and so that could be messy. So, when you have a third wheel or a fourth wheel up in, especially in a marriage, and a marriage that's bound with a lot of money involved.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
I don't know what the reason is, but I think it's a combination of probably financial and probably other people like interfering, like, who knows who is side pieces. Something we don't know the full story, but I feel like their life has been on TV for the past how many years?
Yeah, I
It's,
think he's over it. I think Candy kind of wanted a man that was gonna kinda trail behind her,
mhm,
and, I think he was okay with doing it at first,
mhm,
but it seemed like maybe it would be, it wasn't as 'cause now Candy is doing a lot. Like, she's not
mhm,
just on the show, like, she has her own podcast and, she has the group Escape and, she's doing tours. Then her daughter is older, so now, she visits her daughter off at college and, like, she's in a different place where she's really busy, and I think that he was expecting it to kinda calm down and eventually fizzle out where he would have his wife back and it nagaso and it's only ramping up even more. I think he's realizing I need to get a life. Like I need to have my own and invest more time into my own.
mhm,
Um, it's nice and all for them to have things together, but he needs to be able to have his own thing, just like how she has her own thing. And Yeah, I think she expected him to kinda trail behind her for a while, and, he was like, "Nah, not doing that." And she was like, "What? What do you mean? Like, I don't understand." And so
Mhm,
now we're here where we are. A part of their relationship never seemed real to me. I'm just
mhm,
gonna keep it a buck. Like, a part of the relationship didn't seem real.
mm.
I don't know why, but that's just what came across. Like there's parts of it where I was like, okay, you sure? You sure he's really down with you, girl? Because I don't know. I don't know. There were times where it was kind of suspicious. It was kind of, I don't know. For me, I just felt like it wasn't 100%. It never seemed like it was 100%. But I hope that they will do, if they can't be with each other, then, hopefully they'll be good on their own, and they do it in a way because they do have small children. So, they do it in a way where they can co parent their children and still
Yeah, I think they're
be
gonna be able to
friends.
do that. They work so good together with so many other things. I think they'll be able to manage it. Unless there's something messy on the horizon, I think they'll be fine.
Messy on the
Um,
horizon. That's a good segue. Let's talk about the messy on the horizon.
right. All
You,
right.
you,
So Offset and Cardi
the
continue
messy on the horizon.
to have a
I'm having inside jokes by myself. Sorry. Um,
they continue to have, yeah, you said it. It's a messy breakup and on all fronts, to be
right?
honest. Any
Okay.
so basically there was this another kerfuffle where he's starting because since he's released his album, he's trying to play it all cool. It's like, yeah, you know what? I own up to my mistakes. It is what it is. Da 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 da. But you know what? It's just too fresh. You shouldn't even have pretended like it was you're all right because you're clearly not all right. And
You're
that
not
and
all
that's
right.
within good reason. I mean, from the story that we see and hear, it'd be okay if you're not alright. But you're trying to keep it cool, be a man about it, great. I don't know, the pettiness is coming in
Oh,
here and there.
jeez.
Anyway,
Yeah, it's
so there was
leaking.
there was a screen there was a screenshot that went viral, showing a post, on his story supposedly where after a little bit after Cardi B delivered her son with, Stefan Diggs
Mm.
saying "My kid, LOL." The post, right? So obviously that's if it's true, allegedly. I mean,
Mhm.
if it was taking a screenshot off his Instagram, it most likely happened. But anyway, and some people were talking about, I guess I don't know people on their side. Either way, it's weird. Either way, but it's just they debated the post because you were talking about the Georgia paternity law.
Mhm.
Since Cardi B and Offset are legally married,
Mhm.
Georgia law presumes the legal husband to be the father of a child born during
Mhm.
marriage. So legally,
It is his child.
yes,
Under Georgia law.
based on Georgia law, that's correct. But since then, his because everybody was like, "What kind of bitch ass?" Like, people
Right?
can like.
Because it is
uh,
a bitch ass move.
It's
Because
a
you know
very,
what's really real.
it's
Like,
a
come on
petty
now.
thing. It's a very petty thing, all honestly, I also wonder. Listen, we don't know the intimacies of Cardi B and her husband and
Mhm.
Stefan, but there must be a reason why she was 100% sure. And I would think even Stefan might have been like, do we do a DNA? Like, like I don't
No,
know.
but the thing is that Stefan has had paternity suits, pending while
Yeah.
meeting and being with Cardi. So it's very strange, right? He's not questioning the paternity of this child. So there
Yes.
were 2 other young ladies that have paternity suits against him. One of them, we found out it is actually his daughter,
Mhm.
okay? And the other one, we're still waiting to find that out. So if he's the type of guy that has no qualms with asking for a paternity test, and he thinks that Cardi B is out here in these streets or with her ex-husband still, he would have asked for one.
That's what I'm saying. So I'm saying between the two of them, they must know why why this is a sure thing, especially from Stefan's side of the story, right? But anyway, so Offset's team has since released a statement confirming that, saying that the screenshot was completely fabricated and that he never posted it. Cardi
Mhm.
B reacted before the denial, expressing her frustration and claiming she was still being harassed and threatened due to the constant rumors. And
Yeah, and it
mhm,
looks like him doing that makes it he's so messy boots, like, Jesus.
y-
He knew exactly what he was doing. Like, stop this. Okay, Offset, like, stop this because you seem to think that everybody around you is stupid. You definitely were being messy. You wanted Stefan to feel some sort of way. I think that Stefan and Cardi have a very open relationship. They
mhm,
talk to each
they
other.
have an
They
understanding.
have an understanding. They keep everything out on the table. Nothing, no cards behind no back. And I think that they, in terms of their relationship, I think they might have menage a trois or they might keep it spicy in the bedroom. And I think they have an understanding with each other. And this is why, when I just mentioned that he had a paternity suit, you didn't see Cardi out here crashing out. And we know that Cardi is the type to crash the hell out. So she wasn't doing that. And that shows me that there's two adults. They've gotten themselves to where they are at this point in their life. This is what's popping. They're
Mhm.
open and honest about the whole thing. And neither one of them have any question because it's just openness and honesty and transparency. And I think that's what Cardi B thrives with in
Oh
relationships
yeah, yeah.
because she's the type of woman that if you tell her, yo, I got two paternity suits right now, I don't know if two babies are mine, okay? She will still rock with you purely on the fact that you told her the truth.
Mhm,
That's it. That's all. If you think about it, Cardi is not a she's an everyday around the way type of girl in what she thinks. When she
mhm,
has a love relationship or love interest or whatever. She
mhm,
just wants you to be like most women, honest,
mm,
open. Tell me. She's the type of girl that if you tell me, I still might rock with you.
mhm,
So if you don't tell me and you want to play me like a fool out in these streets, that's when we have the Cardi that's crashing out on the internet. But she's not doing that. So obviously that shows they have a really good relationship, which I'm so happy because you know what? There's a calmness about Cardi that I haven't seen ever. Okay?
mm.
And Stefan's bringing it to her. Because don't you find it also strange? Like Cardi's not crashing out on Offset.
I think she's
She
too
could be.
busy.
She could.
I think she's too busy to do that.
That
There's
too,
a lot going on right now.
right? And I think she, her get back, she's letting it speak for itself. I think that's what it is that she's like, yo, yeah, this is the ultimate get back. I had a baby by your favorite football player. Okay. Tell me that's not a get back. Tell me. And so she's like, I'll just let that speak for itself. And it is. And he's crashing out and he's doing all sorts of
There's nothing more to say after that.
right? Like what we need to talk about. So now all of a sudden he's pulling these stunts and he's trying to make it was really truly a dig at Stefan. That's what that was, right?
Mhm, mhm,
He knows Cardi. He knows what's gonna set her off, right? And one of those things is to make her look like she don't know who her baby father is. Okay. And Cardi literally you remember the other day when Cardi was in court and the girl was suing her for a supposed cut on her face?
mhm.
And she was walking outside of the court office and someone said, "Oh, was insinuating, do you know who your child's father is?" Cardi, while on trial, grabbed the mic and threw it at the damn reporter. Don't play with her when it comes to her womanness, right? She's very open and honest about who she is, her sexuality, and all the above.
Mhm.
So don't try to make me seem like I don't know who my baby father is. I remember that because we had in our segment, in one of our shows, I said, Cardi, you're out here on trial for attacking somebody, and here you are attacking somebody. Like, really, bro? Right? Really? So Cardi's not the one to play with when it comes to respecting her womanness, right? And because she's so open, why would she lie? Why would she need to lie, right? So when you make those insinuations, she's ready to pop off. So far, she's not doing none of that. She's not doing none of that. She's not popping off. She's living her best life. And Stefan brings her a lot of peace. I can see that. And so she's not letting him crap like this. What he's doing is the effects of the get back, right? And so now he's crashing out. He's trying to throw shade towards Stefan Digg by implying that this is his child when he knows goddamn well this is Stefan's child. Right? So it's like almost trying to get at Stefan, but Stefan is like a rock. Like he's not gonna listen. He's 50
Yeah.
mil type man. Like
Yeah,
he's
he's
not.
good either way.
I, I'm not right. And
Yeah.
so anyway, so that's what I think about Offset right now is the effects of the get back. He got back. Cardi got back at Offset so well that he's just now figuring this shit out. He's just now realizing the real get back of it all. And so he's
Mhm.
trying to combat that with his nonsense.
Yeah, there's no way to come back from this though. You have to just swallow this and move
Well,
on, buddy.
he's the type
Okay.
he's the type who's gonna try.
Okay, yeah. Well, that's
Right? Like he's gonna actually
which is
try.
not gonna help his reputation because it comes off as corny. It's like, focus on your career because you're gonna need to now, buddy.
Yeah,
Uh,
especially that album that tanked the other day. You might wanna go back into the lab and redo it because that one wasn't it. And I think, so I saw him in an interview on a podcast. I don't remember the name of the podcaster. But he made a statement, and the statement he made was that there hasn't been anybody that he's left that has done better
oh,
after he's left.
that's what he said on Joe Budden's podcast, yeah.
Oh, it was Joe Budden. Okay.
Mhm. Of
So
course.
I only saw the clip of him making this stupid ass comment, right?
Mhm.
And I thought to myself, huh, you seem to think that Cardi's not doing better than you? Go take a look at the album sales.
Yeah, that's crazy. I don't know if that was before that. That must have been before the album came out.
So, but even then, she's still doing better than you. Look, she found somebody that looks like you, but better. Like when I look at Stefan, he looks a lot like Offset. A lot like Offset. But I think that Stefan is very muscular. He takes good care of himself. He has to. His body is his moneymaker. And Offset is looking older and older by the day. You know what I mean? Only because I think the drugs and the alcohol, the lifestyle is taking a wear and tear on him.
Mhm.
And you can see it. You can see it. Um, yeah, but you know what? Offset, you done lost one, bro. Just let it go.
You're right. Yeah, at this point. That's the most mature manly thing you can do at this point.
Yeah.
Because you already lost. Anyway, so we'll move on to our last story for today. So we're talking about our girl, our lady, Miss Lauryn Hill. She
Yeah.
she's doing a tour. I saw on Instagram. I was like shocked. I was like, oh, she said something about she's coming to Toronto, and then I saw a post where she just finished in Vancouver. It's like, oh, she's doing a lot of Canadian dates. So I looked it up, and she's basically doing a Canada only tour called Artists in Residence, and it's to support a charity. It's like some $2 of it are going to a, I think it's like a creative charity that she's supporting.
In
But
in Canada.
I that's the part I'm not sure. But it
Mhm.
must be for it to be in
Mhm.
Canada only,
Yeah, especially if it's only. Yeah.
right? But I'm not that I won't say because I'm not 100% sure. Anyway, so
Mhm.
she's started November 19th in Winnipeg, and it's gonna end in Ottawa, December 19th.
Oh,
She's gonna
wow.
be coming, so she just
You're
finished
gonna be here for
her,
a while. Okay, Lauren.
well, it's spaced out enough where, yeah, so it's pretty much a month, really.
Yeah, but she'll
Um,
be I'm presuming all across
yeah,
Canada.
all
But a
across
month is
Canada.
a long time. That's a long
Mhm.
time for like I would say a celebrity to be in one place you know what I mean? Like
Yeah, but the way it's spaced out, she can fly home to New York.
that's true.
Yeah,
That is
yeah,
true.
I
Yeah,
would
yeah, yeah.
assume. I wouldn't think she's at this stage in her career, she would have to do that. But anyway, well, who knows? But anyway, so she started in
Mhm.
Winnipeg. She just did the Vancouver show. She's coming to Toronto December 16th, and then her last show, she's closing out in Ottawa on December 19th. Um, and that's all great and wonderful. But unfortunately, as we have talked about on the show many times,
Mhm.
we respect Lauryn Hill.
Love me
We
some
were
Lauren.
younger here in, I think, high school or
Yeah.
something
Yeah.
when she released her
One and only famous album.
the
Yeah.
famously Miseducation of Lauren, and everybody, it's a certified classic. I don't want to say, there's not much more I could say that hasn't already been said.
Yeah.
So we revere her for her talents, right? But unfortunately, she's kind of become there's a joke now with her performances, and there's two consistent jokes that we have talked
Mhm.
about here. Number one is her showing up on time.
Ay vey, I'm
And number
telling you.
two, which I understand legally, she doesn't have a choice, is the rendition of the songs are not the same as we know them. If
Mm,
you were to go to a Lauryn Hill show today and she sings, let's say, Zion, you're gonna be like, is that
right?
Zion? Yeah, because she's not allowed to perform the songs as they are because of all the fallout and lawsuits she faced
Mhm.
from those who worked on the album with her. I hope one day that's cleared up.
Me
I
too.
don't know, and I think there's an amount of time when you have a creative copyright where eventually it's to the public. I don't know it will be in her lifetime, but I hope that
I
could
hope so
happen. So
too.
she could, and I think every once in a while she's allowed to. I don't know what the rules are.
Mm.
But yes, anyway, that those are the 2 main critiques, and, but I love that she's coming, to the show, but I think, as you can imagine when the announcement was made, the commentary that came up with her is I think there was a quote saying, like, if you're buying a ticket to a Lauryn Hill show, then you're just you deserve whatever happens.
Right? Oh.
The way
Mhm.
I've seen Lauren in Toronto before. The way I'll see Lauren is if it's like a group tour, like so the time I saw her, it was Nas, her, and Chronix opened up. Amazing show, actually.
Mhm, mhm.
So if it's a multi-show, like different performers, yeah, I'll buy a ticket and be happy to hopefully catch her.
Mhm.
And they probably throw her last, so she has time.
Yeah, make sure. Mhm.
But I wouldn't buy a ticket to just see Lauryn Hill. That's too risky.
By herself? No, thank you. So far, I unless I haven't been able to come across it, I haven't seen
I haven't heard.
anything
Yeah, I looked up.
or heard anything
I haven't seen
that's
anything negative about the 2
right,
shows.
that she's not showing up on time and all that.
Mhm.
But Lauren, you know that that's one of your bigger problems. I think, here in Canada, it might be a little like the logistics might just be a little bit more easier. I don't
Yes,
know.
more organized for her because
Right?
she's very fussy about her setup. So that's another reason sometimes
Right? And we'll
she won't go.
accommodate. We like to
Yeah,
accommodate here in
mhm,
Canada.
yeah,
So, I could see that that might be a problem, but so far I haven't heard anything. And it's nice to have Lauren back in Canada. I mean, she has come here before in the past, I think a few times actually.
yeah. I've
But
seen her here.
now that she, is in her older years, it's like, yeah, it's nice to have her, even if she has to redo the actual songs that made us love her. Just hearing her, I guess, creativity on how she manages that, because there's certain songs that when they're not sang the same way, again, nostalgic, the memory that comes behind that song is just not there. So I'm sure she's creative in how she deals with that. But Lauren, girl, so far so good, girl. So far so good. I think you know what with Lauren, she's the type of creative that you can't put limits on. You
Mhm,
just can't. And it's in your best interest not to. So I find that when she has, the freedom of her creativity, that she will be on time and she
mhm.
will, you know what I mean? Like, I just feel like sometimes they try to tell Lauren how to do stuff. And Lauren's like, nah, fam, I'm not doing it like that. We're
Okay,
going to
well,
do it
I
like
did.
this.
I found something because I was on social media. So her first show in Winnipeg, Manitoba, on the 19th. I saw somebody who posted a video from the show, and the first thing somebody asked her was
Was
the
she on
person,
time?
"What's your?" Well, we know that's the number one
It has to
question.
be. It has to be the very
We
first
know the
question.
show will be decent if you stick around, but was she on time?
Right?
So the woman was like, "Well, I won't say she was late, but the show started an hour after the advertised time. Production had to sort a few things out, so I can't fault her per se. Even as it was going on, there was still a few technical issues. Why is there always technical issues,
I
though?
think she's too nitpicky. I think
Yes.
that's what it
Yes,
is.
that's what it must come I could say, as somebody who's seen her, and I've seen her on TV and everything, and live performances that have been recorded, That's always she seems very nitpicky with the production and sound setup.
Yeah, and I think it's nitpicky to the point where it's I don't even think she realizes that, "Okay, we already checked that snare. We already
Mhm,
checked this." Like, I don't think she realizes. I think she just in that moment of creativity,
mhm,
she knows what she needs to hear or she wants to hear,
mhm,
and she won't stop until she does.
mm.
I mean, can you wrong her?
Yeah,
Because
I can't wrong her, but I'd be like, at
the
this
one
point
album the
but
one album okay. Let's like let's just put it out there. I mean,
but Kim, if you're that picky, I think you should have, like, a literal, like, instruction guide or something, like, you know what I
no,
mean?
no, 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 you can't do
No?
it like that. No. No, no, no. She can't do it like that because it's in that moment of creativity.
Okay, okay, okay.
She's a very complex artist.
I agree.
She is. She's a very complex artist, and I feel like now here's the thing. She had one album 20 odd years ago, almost 30 years ago, okay?
Mhm, mhm,
And
mhm.
she's still touring on that
She's
album,
healthy touring
right?
life with that
Okay,
one album.
so can we wrong her for all of this pickiness if when she made this album, she was picky and she's still touring? So, I mean
Y yeah,
I mean
I get what you're saying. Well, like the person said, in 2025, if you decide to buy a ticket, you need to be okay with that.
yeah,
I don't wanna see nobody coming online complaining about Lauryn Hill
no,
being
bring your fold-out chair. It's mandatory. Like, when you purchase that ticket, you better make sure you have a fold-out chair. Have a fold-out chair because if you have to sit around and wait for her ass for an hour, maybe if you got to sit down, and then just enjoy the vibe, it might not feel like this is 2 hours coming. You know, like, I don't know. I love me some Lauryn Hill, and it's like, I understand as a as a society, we're always in a rush and a rush, and we want it now, gotta brr. But you can't rush creativity. And, I mean, she's still touring off of the 30-year-old bro. She has
25,
something
it's
there's
I think
something to this then. Like, it's working.
if
It's
you
like, how
bought
do
it
you show up to the
so
concert
we
2
have to
hours
give
late?
context to this. The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill has sold over 20 million copies
I
worldwide.
mean,
That's hard copy. We don't even know the streaming numbers.
okay.
That's a hard copy actual CDs and
Okay,
records.
and she's still touring that one album. So when that perfectionist in her artistry, is she wrong? Because look, when Lauryn Hill produces something, we all think you're being too nitpicky. But how can we say that if she produces something like that? Right. This is why you just have to have your fold out chair. You buy the ticket and have the fold out chair. That's that's all you need to do. Like, because I mean, I love me some Lauryn Hill. I love me some Lauryn Hill. And
Mhm,
honestly, like I could still play her album back to back to back and not get tired of it.
mm,
So that nitpickiness, it did her some success. Like I can't wrong her like 100%. But I do agree that, if you're going to go out on tour, you have to have some understanding of people's time. And you just can't, but so far an hour late and there was technical problems. You know what? I've heard
mm,
worse.
mhm.
So I'm going to call that a win. I'm going to call I'm gonna call that a win because I mean it's not that bad for Lauren.
And you know what? She's actually had some second shows added to Winnipeg, Montreal, Calgary, so demand is there.
And
Remember,
they
she
weren't
this
that
has
upset,
she hasn't toured on a in Canada. She hasn't come to Canada since 2023. That's only 2 years, but
right?
people like you said, that album has such a legacy, people will still pay even with the reputation.
Right? So I mean the nitpickiness, it's justified. It's
Mhm,
justified. She's very technical artist. And you know what? One thing I'll give Lauren though is that she's very hands-on and that she's not gonna let her craft be displayed by everybody else. Like she wants something to do with it. You know what I
yes,
mean?
mhm.
She
She wants a
still
lot of control over it,
yeah,
yeah.
and she's proud of her work and she takes
And
ownership of it, you
considering
know?
what happened with her, Um, I could see why she would have an obsessive need for control over everything.
right?
Yeah.
So, but all in all, I'm sure, she's gonna do well in Canada. We
Mhm.
love her up here. Lauren, just make sure you're semi on time, okay? Because Canadians, it's cold up here,
Mhm.
okay? We're not standing out in the cold for you for too long, okay? We're just not, okay? Love you or hate you, love you or leave you. Nah, we ain't standing out here in this cold, -8 for too long. So you need to get to the
Mhm.
stage, ma'am. But you know what? I do hope that her shows go well while she's in Canada, and I hope that she enjoys herself while she's in Canada as well.
Mhm.
Get out there. When you come to Toronto and to Ontario, get out there and explore Ontario a little bit more. You have a lot of fun. I think she'll have some fun here. So anything else to say about her tour,
No,
Miss
no, no.
Lauren? Miss Lauryn Hill, girl, we love you. And kudos to you for coming to Canada and supporting that organization. Making moves for us Canadians to help. So that's awesome. And we do hope that your hearts and minds were activated on this week's show. So whether you lead with your heart or your mind, please stay passionate and thoughtful. We'll talk to y'all real soon. Bye.
Bye.